Hey guys, welcome back to an XRP analysis. Where we left off was essentially talking about the fight for this 1.4167 area. Now, essentially this Fibonacci, we've been seeing how we're trying to fight for control. Now, the reason why this is important is because depending on which side we end up controlling, it dictates the movement for the next few weeks, or at least to the next level. What I mean by that is that if we are able to see XRP close above 38.2%, we are looking at a higher likelihood to obviously go up towards this 1.77. However, if we see it fail this 38.2, we are likely to see it go back down to this 1.11 level again. And so right now, there hasn't been a confirmation of which side is winning, whether it's buyers that were over here or the sellers that are currently taking the price below the 1.4167. However, we are, of course, seeing this fight for control happening. And this is something we've already mentioned beforehand. Bear in mind, you also have to pay attention to what Bitcoin is doing. Now, we are seeing Bitcoin today still down 68K. It's currently sitting around, as the time we're recording, 67,000. But the more important thing is that Bitcoin is trying to fight for the ability to stay above 70,000. Just a few days ago, it was at 72. Right now, it's at 67. So you obviously see the volatility and the fluctuation that it's happening. But at the end of the day, it's about understanding where each coin wants to end. And so if we are actually going to see Bitcoin to fall further, then even without the understanding of sellers are in control, you're going to be seeing XRP go to 1.1 if we see Bitcoin go back to 60K. And that doesn't even need to be dictated by if we see it hold below this Fibonacci, if we see sellers stacking up and then going downward. That will just be done naturally because people will be selling off crypto. Now, the one thing that we do have to bear in mind is how low will XRP go. Firstly, we've already given this level. Now, this level is essentially the $1 to 1.1. And I suspect that for XRP, the $1 will work the same way as 60,000 did for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin touched 60,000, it was instantly brought back up. And I only suspect the same for XRP. However, because there is less volume, because there is less capital in XRP than Bitcoin, you will see a massive spike upwards, but it won't be the same as how Bitcoin saw a small revival, where Bitcoin managed to see all of these buy orders at 60K and then recover the whole market. You will see XRP recover slowly, but if Bitcoin continues to free fall, then it's only going to fall below that. But you would definitely, if we see XRP at $1, and this is almost a free trade idea, if you see XRP go to $1, I suspect that so many people will have buy orders there, you can instantly get a bounce back and you can ride that profit. What's likely going to happen is that from 1, it's probably going to jump back up to 1.11 or higher, potentially 1.2. But if Bitcoin continuously falling, then what you will see is XRP go all the way down, suddenly a spike up, and then gradual selling, where it falls back below $1. Now, this is only on the chance that Bitcoin falls below 60K. If Bitcoin doesn't fall below 60K and we're still looking at a bearish market for XRP, like we've said, I only think it's only going to get hit to 1.1. Even if it hits $1, it will be completely different than from Bitcoin falling below 60K, because if XRP hits $1, it's just going to see extreme buy orders that will have a massive spike up. But it won't face further selling because the entirety of crypto will also be going up. And so that's what we're ultimately looking at right now. For what I've been saying, this is something I've been doing, is that I'm basically eyeing up this level. I'm taking the short trade if we are seeing sellers in control, but right now you don't have clear confirmation. So that's ultimately what we want to look out for. If we look into the hourly time frame, you can pretty much see what is happening in terms of the fight for this level. You can see tap, 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 bounces back up, tap, bounces back up. When it breaks below, it goes down, pulls back. When it breaks above, it goes and then tap, and then break below, tap, go below, tap, go below, tap, go below. So you can obviously see how this is happening. Right now, if we take a look at it in terms of the short-term time frame and the hourly time frame, what we are, and this is the same for other cryptos as well. I talked about this in Solana. I showed how in just a few hours we were up 60% on Solana. But for this, what we were looking at for XRP is that what we are seeing is the rejection off of this Fibonacci, sellers taking it in. When buyers are coming back in, another massive rejection, another massive selling, where then we've created a new lower low. So right now we are actually looking at a lower low in comparison to before. And we're not seeing, apart from this candle, but we're not seeing massive buyers coming back in. And now there isn't a clear indication of buyers exhaustion. The reason why we made 60% on the Solana trade was because we noticed buyers exhaustion, so we were able to take the short trade. For the XRP right now, we are able to take a short trade. However, the confirmation isn't as clear as the Solana trade because there isn't clear buyer exhaustion. But there is still signs of the potential short trade. And so if we are facing rejection at this level, we could take another short trade where you can target the first level at this previous low, so around 1.3414, and then you have a trading stop loss where you just follow it, keep on going down. But then if we are not seeing sellers rejection, then you can look at a short trade at this 1.41 level again, where we're targeting, same thing, targeting this low at around 1.34. And then once we take the TP1, you obviously take a trailing stop loss and you just go all the way and ride it downwards. As always, none is F financial advice, and I'll catch you guys next time.